Welcome back to the Fashionably Late Pod. The concept of this podcast by now, as you know, is when the universe throws things your way when you least expect it, but the right timing and the right positioning, one can handle anything. And my next guest, Kelly Bensimon, very familiar face for anyone that's ever watched reality TV, but it's your change in life at this point where we meet today that really kind of invigorated me and I wanted to have you on this podcast because it excited me to see the journey that you've taken. But to get to that journey, we have to start from the beginning.
Uh-oh.
Welcome, Kelly.
Hi, guys. Uh-oh.
So I want to kind of start pre-Roni.
Yes.
Your life as a young woman, out and about in the city. We were just talking anecdotal stories as we walked up to the studio. And I want to know, how did Kelly become Kelly?
We were in the elevator and I was just telling you how I used to hang out with Matt Dillon.
The other one.
At Peggy Sue's. I was like, Matt, I met your cousin.
But listen to these stories. It's so insane to me.
We used to have so much fun. I thought that was so cool with my black bodysuit, which I still wear today. I don't know, it just never goes away. A black leather jacket, kind of mom jeans. They were 501s. I just thought it was so cool. He was so cool. I mean, I wasn't hanging out with him, but he was just owned it. And I thought he was like...
I met him in a Starbucks once, and he
Fire.
didn't believe that my name was Matt Dillon and told me to fuck off.
He did not.
Yeah, he did, so that didn't work out for me very well.
Did you say, let's take a photo?
Of course. If I've been 42...
Did you do a Who Wore It Better? Come on, Matt.
I tried, man. He didn't really warm up to me. I don't know what I did wrong. I really tried, because when you're 42 now, that was when I was in my mid-20s. And imagine 20 years of people being like, the actor? No.
You were like, yes.
I am my own person. But
yes,
it's
you
about
are.
you. It's about you.
So, and you look very good, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I had to dress up for you. She is a New York icon. I was like, I think we're going to have to split into the B-roll. One of the most iconic things on television is you running down the street in New York City.
I went on a run today already.
And people are like, do people really do that? I was like, well, Kelly does.
I do.
That's so insane.
I know. So good.
When you think about, I don't want to talk too much about reality, but I want to talk about your positioning. And when you think about the Real Housewives of New York City, what does that invoke inside you? Because it was a big part of your life. Good, bad, ugly, and...
Yeah, I just had a really good time doing it. I know that everyone else loves all the drama, but I just really enjoyed it. And when I went on the show, it was at a time when I was, taking a big leap of faith from getting divorced, just a couple of years beforehand, and just trying to navigate this brave new world. And so to go on a reality show was even a bigger leap of faith, but it was really, really fun. And I was just excited to hang out with all these different women because, that's just not what I do. I was just talking to Joan from The Golden Bachelor, and I said, one thing I love about Housewives is that you hang out with other women and they're, you're going through different things. And I really appreciated the maternalness from, Jill Zarin, and the fun from Luann.
Love Lou.
And the spirit from Alex. And, everyone had their own vibe. And it was fun. It was really, really fun to do. And that, it was funny because we were talking about Bachelor Nation. And I was like, now, on the podcast, dealing with all the Bachelor Nation guys, it's like a whole new world. Now I'm talking about relationships. I was like, I'm not sure if I like to talk about relationships or if I like to talk about male relationships, or if I like to talk about female relationships better. I haven't decided yet.
Interesting.
But they're both very juicy.
I agree. I definitely agree.
It's fun.
Do you look back with any regret at all?
I don't, because, you can't take a leap of faith and then be like, I regret it. I made a mistake. The only mistake that I made was not being more forceful,
I'm going to back you up on that.
More not aggressive, but more, I should have stood up for myself even more.
Not even the word, definitely not the word
not aggressive. It's not aggressive.
But you should have
stood up for
recognized who you were and the privilege that they had also to have you around as you had them. No, in a sense that you also had them around too.
Right.
So I just feel like
I did, but they didn't. They were like, who do you think you are? I'm like, no one, honestly. I just work. That's all I do. And they're just like, no, you think you're someone. I'm like, no, you're miss.
Do you think that came
Representing
from
the
fear
truth.
of you? Because you are powerful. When you enter the room, there is something about you, which makes you a great TV star.
Wait, is it the red crochet dress?
Girl, bye.
Girl, bye.
No, do you think it was people like, not jealousy, but like an intimidation of like, wow, this beautiful woman
has confidence.
has confidence, and that's what I was
I
trying.
think the confidence. I mean, even yesterday I was at American Ballet with Sutton, and you know, she's just I love being around you. She's like, you're just so easy and nice and fun and not complicated and talking to everybody. And I do. And they got mad at me for being they wanted me to be mean and nasty, and they tried to get it out of me, and I was just like, I don't play your game.
Well, that's why you
I'm
did it.
too busy raising 2 kids on my own. I'm like not interested in playing this game with you.
How was that dynamic?
And so that made them even more nuts. They were
That's
like,
crazy though, because you didn't want to partake in the part.
I wasn't.
So they were like trying to get you in the pot.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, I have no idea who you are, and then they were like, see, she has no idea who I am.
If you know, you know. But I
If you
think
know,
looking
you know.
back, if you know, you know. I think looking back, everything that transpired, it just was made for you, and it was the right timing, leaving, coming back, doing the Ultimate Girls thing again. I thought that was beautiful.
So fun.
And it was nice to see you guys have so much history. And I think as somebody
So much connectivity.
but real, because I remember when I moved to New York at 19 from Sydney, Australia, you girls were you guys were like the hots.
Because we were engaging with each other. We were invested. I mean, some of us weren't. Some of us were invested in themselves, but for the most part, our group was really, really invested in each other. And you know, Ultimate Girls Trip was amazing because, you know, I told them, I was like, you guys, I think I'm going to be getting, this guy's going to ask me to marry him. I think this is going to happen. Shit's getting real. And then they were like, no, let's talk about Scary Island. I'm like, you don't even know what Scary Island is. Like, I have to like go, I have to like play story time with you guys, please. Like, life is real.
Yeah.
Shit's getting real, and you guys are missing out.
I like that.
So I actually wish that's one thing on that show that I wish that we had more of a conversation. I read the letters to them. I was trying to open up to Dorinda. I was trying, you know, I was trying to talk to Ramon about it. But you know, again, they don't. I love them.
I know you do.
But they don't want to hear
I
about
know.
my life. They don't want to hear that I have a man that wants to marry me. They want me to be, you know, not married, single. You know, they like they don't like that I work. That bothers them.
That was an interesting.
That really bothers them. Isn't that weird?
It is weird because I think when I think about
that
you,
weird?
it's more than weird.
Do you have single friends at work?
Every person I know, I choose to be around people that elevate themselves and work. And
Do you know women in their 50s who work?
I sure do.
Is that like a bad thing?
I think it's hats off to you.
Like, why is it so bad? They just do not like it. Like, it was funny because Dorinda
Are you
was like,
supposed to stop and
Dorinda was like, I'm working. I'm talking to my business manager at Morgan Stanley. I was like, wow. Okay.
I thought you were gonna say cameos.
No. I was like, okay, you should talk all day long and make sure your stocks are doing great. I'm like selling a $17 million property with on the other side is an absolute animal who literally wants to pull the gray hairs out of my head. Not that I have any.
I was about to say, zoom in. Not a one.
Not a one.
Not a one.
Not a one.
Darling.
Darling.
I want to talk about.
Anyways, my point is,
where we?
is that it's really important actually because, you know, it's okay to be in your 40s and be single and working. It's okay to be in your 50s and still working. It's okay to be in your 60s and still working. You know, just because you're working doesn't mean that you're struggling. It can mean that you actually enjoy being a value add. What is wrong with that?
I think that's a brilliant perspective to take on it. I think there's room for everybody in this cookie jar. There really is.
Right.
That's what makes them good, and
I
like
agree.
no problem.
I agree.
But I also find it intriguing that you could have like rested on your laurels and married a rich man, done this.
I didn't get that memo. I got the old but not the rich.
I've been looking for both. But
Glenn's like, Kelly, darling, you have so much money. I'm like, you don't count other people's money, and that's another thing that I don't do.
Say that again, because that's
Do
key.
not count other people's money, because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Of course not, and it's nobody else's business.
No, and by the way, it's all. I mean, it's in this world. There's so much perception reality, and there's so much smoke and mirrors. You don't know what people have and what they don't have.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? People are walking around with like fake Birkins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nothing wrong with a fake Birkin, but does that mean that person can afford a $25,000 bag? And if they can afford a $25,000 bag, can they afford a $2 million house? And if they have a $2 million house, can they have a $150,000 Range Rover? Do you know what I mean? It's like people's brains go, they start calculating all this stuff.
They really do. Do you use that mindset though? Because the transition into real estate, explain that to me. Because it's fascinating to see you win. And I have to I'm not wearing a hat, but I really do have to pay you dues.
Bug, thank you.
I really do, because
thank you.
It kicked off here, and I was interviewing somebody that works for Douglas Elliman, and we joked, and it was kind of a sassy moment, and I said, because she's on a reality show on Netflix, I said, oh yeah, that's like every housewife gets a real estate license, because the husband tells them to, and I said, but wait, there is one person that I must give kudos to.
Right.
Kelly Bensimon.
Thank you.
Because I have watched your arc. And it's like, I think people expect, I don't know, certain people, there's a niche of people that know you from one moment in your life.
Right.
And then be like, oh, she's just that girl.
Yes.
And don't look past the page to say, was real estate something that you always loved? I mean, you're a New York City girl, so it's like.
Well, I mean, I understand aesthetic. So let's go back. Yep. So first of all, let's just talk about real estate. So real estate is a transaction business, hands down. So anyone who thinks it's all about like staging and everything, it is not. It is a transaction business. It's money goes in, funds go in, funds come out kind of business. It's a ching the register kind of deal. Yeah. So everything that we talk about with like staging and all this stuff is great. But it is a transaction business, and it's technically the first transaction you'll make in your life, and the last transaction that you'll sell in your life. So it's a very, very big deal, and it kind of sets the stage for you for your first transaction of kind of like how you see yourself and what you value. We value real estate, we value art. And so we're valuing Birkin bags. There's certain things we're valuing that we're putting a price tag on.
Correct. Luxury
goods, so that we can maintain what we call generational wealth. Mm-hmm. So it's not just about, hey, look at my studio apartment or look at something I'm renting. It's about generational wealth, what you're going to pass on to your family.
Your gorgeous daughters.
My little Leonie. So that's what we're talking about. So for me, real estate came about not because, I understand that. I understand business, obviously.
I have to say, that's the way you describe it there. Not many people would actually use that term.
Generational wealth?
No, that it's a transactional.
It's a transaction.
And it is, but people like
funds in, funds out.
Correct. That's the nuts and bolts of it, correct?
Right, yes.
But people like to make it, no, it's this, it's the image, it's not, but it's nuts and bolts.
Right.
Transaction. Continue.
That's the only way. That's how we sell it. That's how we market it, how we brand it. I mean, what are you going to do? You're basically branding four walls. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, true.
So that's how we do that. That's the aesthetic part. So that's like the nice dance between transaction and aesthetic, if you will. But the main part of it is the generational wealth. It's like what you're going to buy for your future and for your family. You're going to sell for your family. Okay, then let's go to me. Why do I resonate so well in real estate? One of the reasons I resonate well is because I started L Accessories, and I wrote a book for Anna Wintour. So I've worked for the best of the best. I wrote a book for Anna Wintour for the Metropolitan Museum of Art. We talk about the Met Ball. Mm-hmm. Well, I was one of 7 members of the Costume Institute, which is really incredible. And it's you have to be invited, and you really learn about social history. Who wore it, why they wore it, where they went. It was a really beautiful time. And I wrote this book called American Style for Anna Wintour, and then I got the magazine Elle Accessories, which was so exciting. So I spearheaded that magazine. And I learned this dance of, filling ad pages and also being creative. So I learned this business acumen coupled with the, art and fun and fashion and feathers and crocodile and right. So I understood that balance from working in magazines. And then later on, unfortunately, my mother got sick, and she died, quickly after, and she wanted me to get my real estate license to help sell our family properties, which was really, really difficult, but also, I'm so grateful for her for having that kind of, she basically forecasted my new future.
She had a beautiful foresight.
She's amazing. She's amazing, amazing human. Very, very smart, way beyond her years. So bright, but that was really difficult too, because I was like, real estate. I was like, that's like a car salesman. And I had sold my house before, and this guy that was selling my house, I was like, this guy is an idiot. He's like, well, you're going to sell the chandelier. I'm like, that chandelier is from Paris, and it's not going with you anywhere. But congratulations, that's a no. I was like, who's this person?
That's so crazy.
So I was just so disillusioned, and I had bought and sold many apartments before, rented apartments. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. So bought and sold, and then built my own home. So I understood, real estate. I understood, like, what's a Pella window? What does it look like? What are the sizes? What's a change order? So I understood all those things. So when I got into real estate, I actually understood that. So I was ahead of the game. And I also wanted to make sure that my clients were with me and that I was actually listening to what they wanted, not doing what I wanted.
That's the differential.
So I listen to my clients. And I take things off the market and I put them back at higher prices all the time and get deals done. And I do it all the time. I mean, I was just being interviewed by Peter Hernandez from our office in California, and he said, you're a very bold broker. I'm like, I'm a risk taker. Why not? Listen, if I can swim with the Housewives, I can swim in real estate. Let's call a spade a spade. You heard it here.
The spade has been spaded.
You heard it here.
That's so, I just think
But I'm also like not like an aggressive person. Like, I'm just like, it's fine, I got it, don't worry about it.
You have an energy about you, though. I don't think it's aggressive.
I got it.
I think it's assurance, life lived. You've raised daughters. You do have a thing where it could be misinterpreted as somebody, like, you know what I mean?
I'm not aggressive at all. I don't think it's aggression. I just handle things. Who you are.
You show up,
get it done.
Things done,
and then I move on.
You exit.
And then I go home and drink beer and hang out and run around.
Of all the things you're doing, so real estate is
You're so
is
sweet,
your passion,
Matt.
right?
Thank you for asking me. I really appreciate it.
I
No one
think
wants to talk about my real estate.
I will. We can talk about Housewives all day.
But they don't.
That's the past.
I don't know. It's like, again, like it's back to like people just don't want me to work. I don't know what it is.
I think it's fascinating though to see a woman that has, and you've worked your ass off throughout. It's not like you've rested on your laurels, I think, at any point in time and said, oh,
No.
I could do this, I could do that, because you quite frankly could find somebody and do that.
Right.
But why would you? Do you derive joy from the art of the sale and all of that? Does that bring no?
No? I like helping people. I like making sure they're safe. I'm a mama bear.
I appreciate that.
I'm a mama bear. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I got you.
This is the side of Kelly that people really never get to see. So would you ever go on a reality show about real estate, though?
I mean, sure. But it's like what I do every day. It's like, what do you want to see? Like, you want to watch me walk around, do a showing?
They do. Walking in your dresses, serving up some fashion. Of course they do.
All the other brokers on the other side, they're like, working with you is so easy. I'm like, well, it's not supposed to be complicated. They're like, can you just be honest with me? I'm like, of course, all the time. What do I have to lose?
I have a question though. Do you think, because you're actually living it, so when you say we sat down, you like working, like actually working, and people seem to have that. Do you think these shows?
I don't necessarily like to work. I like to help people. It's different. Like, I'm not like working. You know how people are like, I'm a worker.
No.
I'm like, that's not me. I'm not a hamster on a wheel. I just love helping people in whatever that is. And I have had a past where I have a lot of access to a lot of great things. And it's, it's fun to help people and to make them happy and to be
I
like,
love
oh,
hearing that side of you.
it's
though.
the truth.
I think it's indicative of who you are within here.
Yeah, it's real.
And that's real as shit. That's as real as it gets.
That's real as shit.
It is. Come on now. Come on now. What do your daughters think of this?
I'm seeing you when you say stuff like that. I'm seeing you leather jacket.
I can do that.
Peggy Sue's.
She's never gonna give up
I'm
on that.
never gonna give up.
Help.
Never.
Help.
Never.
Okay, a few more questions before we exito. I want to know, out of everything that you've done, because I have your copies of your books that you did.
Aw, thank you.
I think photography. I remember you running around at the parties. I think you were working for Gotham at the time.
I used to take all my own photos.
Yeah, you used to do your own photos.
I took this amazing photo of Zach Posen for American Style. He's like standing in front of one of his gowns. It's such a great photo.
It's incredible. So
and then I took this amazing photo of the entire Barbie collection. This woman in Stuytown.
Okay.
She has the entire Barbie collection, and I took a photo of it, and it's in American Style, and it's probably the coolest photo I've ever taken in my life. It's the whole thing. It's the whole vibe. It's like the little. And when I was watching the Barbie movie, I'm like, oh my god, I have a photo of that.
That's so insane.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's
it's
so
very
insane.
Cool.
So those anecdotal stories.
But don't ask me to take your portrait because I'm awful.
I would be honored.
No, I'm
Miss
not good.
Bensimon.
No, I'm not good. I'm not good at that.
She's retired from that.
Oh yeah.
She just makes people's dreams come true.
Just dreams come true. Just a magic maker.
Out of everything that you've done,
yes.
Is there anything that might be sitting on the shelf that you would ever like, anything at all? Because I feel like you've done, like, if you were to put like a resume together. You think about a resume?
Yeah.
You've done a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
People are like, put it on one page. I'm like, the print's going to be small.
Yeah, I don't think you could. But
thank you.
It's beautiful and creative and...
Very creative. But also, it's like we talked about the dance. Like everything that I've done has had business and, aesthetics, both of it. I mean, you have to also remember, like, I'm used to like doing a lot of things because when I was in college, I was also modeling. When I was in high school, I was modeling. I've always done two big things at the same time, which most people are just like laser focused on one thing. But I've always like done two things. I've always been very good at compartmentalizing, and I think that's also intimidating too sometimes when people see like, oh, you can do things well. It's like, it's not that I'm so great. It's just I just get it done.
I appreciate that. And
do you know what I mean? There's different kinds of people. People are always like, well, you have to be the smartest person in the room. Not necessarily. You just have to be the one that gets the job done.
And there you go.
Seriously.
I think that surmises everything to
You're
perfection.
a lamb chop, and I really appreciate you, and I'm so excited for you, and like
Thank
coming
you.
all the way from Australia and like making it big. Miami.
Still working it. But I'm stepping up, and I so want to thank you for being here, and I celebrate you. So, guys, where can we follow you on social media? I mean,
all the socials. Well, you can follow me on my podcast, iHeartRadio. I do part two. We Find Love. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, where I have so much fun. Everyone's like, I use my TikTok for real estate. I'm like, I use my TikTok for fun.
You really do.
Like, why using for real estate? Like, no, fun. It's all about fun. But to answer the question before we sign off, you said, like, is there anything else that I want to do?
Yeah.
And there's so much more that I want to do. I am like just getting started. My kids are growing up. I'm ready to go. This is the first time in my life I'm doing one thing at a time. Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
gonna
what
be
that
fire.
feels like for you. Yeah,
Oh my God, it's gonna be fire.
Look at the energy inside you.
Fire.
And what about
more TV,
one more question?
more
TV,
fun, more
men?
books,
more
dating.
women?
Just fun, like just
Good.
really celebrating my life. And I'm really excited about it.
Let's celebrate life together. I love you. Thank you so much, Kelly, for coming on.
You are the best. Thank you guys so much.
All righty. Till next
Bye.
time. We'll see you soon.
Bye.